I have been wanting to make this video for such a long time, so I'm so excited I finally have the chance to this week. A lot of huge albums came out this year, and out of all of the new albums that I listened to this year, there was one in particular that really stuck out to me, and I just really felt like it was everything I needed and wanted in an album, and I just adored it so much, and that was Charm by Clairo. Now, I want to preface that I have never been a Clairo stan. Honestly, I don't like a lot of her old stuff. I wasn't a big fan of her album Immunity, which was from 2019. On Immunity, the only songs I liked were Bags and Softly, and even then they weren't songs I was like crazy about, just songs I kind of liked. And then we go into her sophomore album Sling, which the only song I liked on there was Amoeba. Honestly, she hadn't scored many points for me. And then she releases this banger called Charm, and I'm just blown away by this album. And since I wasn't like a super big fan of Clairo's music, when it first came out I wasn't very interested, but then I heard like a snippet of it on someone's Instagram story. They had a snippet of Juna on their Instagram story, and I was like, this is Clairo? Like, I was like, I mean, it sounded like her, and you know, obviously it was her, but I was like, oh my goodness, like, what a beautiful sound. So I decided to give her album a listen, and oh my goodness, what a phenomenal album! I did hear a lot of conversations surrounding this album talking about how it's a very boring album, it's very slow, it's not very interesting, there's not a lot going on, and I was honestly really shocked to hear that kind of critique of this album because I personally felt the complete opposite. I think that this album is like a matching outfit, and every single song is a piece of that outfit and like puts the whole thing together. Something I told my friend once was I just feel like this album is like, it's so soft and like clean, and it makes me feel like I just took a shower. I was really surprised that people thought this album was boring because I feel like, you know, on the surface, if you're just listening to it for like, you know, the music and the instrumentals, I can see maybe how you could come to that conclusion, but if you actually listen to the album and listen to the lyrics and what she's saying and what she's trying to convey, I feel like it tells a whole different story, and it's actually very deep and also kind of sad, or really sad actually. She does such a wonderful job of capturing the emotion she's trying to convey. It's really obvious that this album is about this desire to be perceived and this longing for a natural and strong connection with someone else in a relationship sense, and every single song on this album plays into that narrative so incredibly well. I don't know how people think this album is boring, but it is my favorite album that came out this year, and that's saying a lot because Remy Wolf also released this year, and you guys know I love that woman, but I've got to give it to Claire this time around. I am obsessed with this album, and I wanted to go through each of the songs and kind of talk about them. So starting with a banger like Nomad on this album is such a great move on her behalf. I remember when I listened to this album for the first time, I went in order, so I started with Nomad, and just from the get-go I was like, oh my goodness, what is this masterpiece? It's such a good song, really sad though. In the chorus, the thing that she says is, I'd rather be alone than a stranger, which the way I interpret that is like, you'd rather be with someone even if it's just like, it means nothing to them rather than like not know them at all. You know, having a shallow relationship is better than not having anything. And there's also a line where she says she's touch-starved and shameless, which is also really sad. And that's how the album opens. So Nomad, very sad, but it's a great opening to this album. I think it's a very strong opening song to this album. So now we go into Sexy to Someone. Sexy to Someone. This is the second most popular track on this album. This is the song you're probably gonna hear everywhere if it's not Juna. This song is so damn good. And it's kind of the same idea where it's like this longing to be perceived, and you want someone to just see you somewhere, like see you at a bar, see you in a hotel lobby, see you somewhere and be like, oh my god, like they're so sexy. Oh my god, were they in that movie? Because they're like so sexy, they're so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You want someone to look at you and be like, oh my goodness, they're like the most beautiful person, the sexiest person I've ever seen in my life. And it's almost like her reason to want to get out of the house. I want someone to see me that way, and I want to be with someone who sees me that way. And so it's, you know, again, like same narrative. She wants this connection with someone and is hoping that someone sees her the way that she wants to be seen. There's even a line in the song where she says, and it's just something I can't live without. Obviously there's this piece that's missing from her that she really wants, but she just hasn't obtained that yet. And so again, it's this sense of like longing for that special connection with someone. Second Nature has such a pleasant, wonderful intro to it. You can also hear Claire laughing a little bit in the background, which I think is really cute and a very nice touch to the song. The very first verse in the song says, "It's when you're close enough to touch. I've forgotten the point, my train of thought destroyed." Just like the idea of being in close proximity with this person, it just has her completely scrambled. She doesn't know what to do, but at the same time, it seems like she's really, really excited about it. So at the beginning of the chorus, she says, "And once you get in my ear, I see kismet sinking in." Really, really love the instrumentals right here in the background. To me, it kind of sounds like a violin doing a tremolo in the background, just like very, very fast. And it kind of reminds me of like bees. Like it sounds like bees just like buzzing around and like getting really close to your ear, and also has you like a little scrambled. You know, talking about kismet sinking in, like it's this fate, this destiny. You are meant to be with this person. This person is the one for you. Like it was meant to be. And then she goes on to say, it's second nature. Like, you know, this fate, this destiny, this like feeling of knowing that I'm supposed to be with you. It's just second nature. I just know that we're supposed to be together. You know, obviously I don't know what was going through her head when she was writing this, but in my mind I kind of see this as like just being very delusional, thinking about this person, like seeing them being like, oh my god, like you're mine, you were meant to be mine. And again, it kind of goes into that like, you know, she really wants to be in a relationship and have that close connection with someone, and so she's like getting a little delusional here. That's what I see, at least from this song specifically. Now we're moving into Slow Dance. This song to me kind of feels like there is some insecurity about the end of a relationship, and she talks about when the candle burns out or when the record fades out. It is about the fizzling out of a relationship, but for the person she's talking about, they have other options that are waiting for them. So like as soon as she's out of this relationship, this person that she was with is immediately moving on to the next person. And there's even a line in here where she says, "I know you've got people to turn to." So, you know, she knows that this person has a roster. In this song, she's kind of like asking, you know, what is it that's drawing you to this other person? Why am I not good enough? Like, why is it that you need these other people or this other person? Like, it's definitely a lot of insecurity stemming from this song. So now we're moving into Thank You. This song is of course still sad, but it's a little funny to me. I think she definitely gives the piano more of a chance to shine in this one as well. The reason the song is funny to me is just because it's like she meets this person, she knows it's not gonna work, she's basically just like, thank you for your time, and then on to the next. Like for example, in her lyrics she says things like, "When I walk away, it always comes in threes, we don't get on, can make you laugh, personality, we're not getting along, I can't make you laugh, you know, something doesn't sit right, it's not gonna work, thank you for your time, let's both just move on." So it's basically like rejecting that person and kind of herself in a way before too much time is wasted when it's like obviously not gonna work. The music in the song makes it sound a little more lighthearted than it is. There's kind of like a little piano trill in there, which makes it sound a little more fun. Definitely the instrumental work on this one is really, really great. I, again, love the piano across this whole album, but I think it's a lot of fun in this song specifically. So now we're gonna go into Terrapin. At first, I actually really didn't like this song, but then I gave it a few more listens and I actually really started to like it a lot. The piano in this one is outstanding. It gets to have its own moment where it's just the piano and you hear it and you just get to enjoy that beautiful instrumental, and I just like, oh my goodness. I was not expecting that the first time I listened to this song, but that was the one part I remember really liking, even when I wasn't that big on the song. In the beginning of the song, she says, "We can go wherever we want, the plains, the sand." To me, I was kind of like, okay, like she's down to do whatever with this person, like she's happy to follow them wherever, she wants to be with them. But to be honest, I was not completely sure about what exactly she was talking about, so I kind of read a little bit about it, and the about page on Genie's lyrics says that Terrapin is a laid-back song that explores themes of freedom, simplicity, and emotional resilience. With its minimalist lyrics and mellow melody, the song offers a sense of peace and acceptance, resonating with listeners who appreciate the beauty in life's uncomplicated moments. So after reading that, I kind of think it's about like, you know, enjoying the simple things with someone that you love, you're interested in. But that's really all I gained from this. I wasn't entirely sure about what exactly she was trying to say in the song, and I think that's why maybe at first I wasn't very interested in it. Also lyrically, it's very short. There aren't that many lyrics in this song. Still kind of follows the theme of the whole album, but again, like at first I listened to this and I was like, what the f is she talking about? So now we're gonna go into Juna, and this is the most popular song on her album, and it totally makes sense why. The intro is so good. This song is definitely about someone that Claire is obviously very, very interested in. It's this person that she loves so much, she wants to be with, and you know, she doesn't have to pretend around them, she can just be herself, and like, apparently it's this person named Juna, I'm assuming. There's kind of this doubtfulness to the song as well, where she's like, why would I let you in, but I think again. And you know, it just goes on where she says things like, you know me, and like, I just might know you too, like I think we get each other. It's just a song about like meeting this person who she thinks is a great match for her. This song to me is very similar theme-wise to Second Nature. It's just like a couple steps down from Delusional, like how we saw in Second Nature, but kind of the same idea where she's like, I think you're the one, you just get me, and I think I get you too. I really like the part of the song where she goes like, you make me want to go dancing, you make me want to try on any dress, you make me want to try on feminine, like you make me want to try on all these things. And like, to me, I'm assuming maybe these are things that like she's never really craved before. She's like never really wanted to do these things, but she's met this person that's like bringing out this side of her, and like she wants to go explore herself more with this person. And so I just think it's a really, really pretty song, and it's really nice, and it's definitely one of the happier ones on this album. Makes sense why it's the most popular one on the album, for sure. This is my absolute favorite song on this album. I am obsessed with this song. I was looping this song for days and days and days. Oh my goodness, this song is so beautiful. Like, the piano in this is so wonderful. The lyrics are so sweet and sad. I mean, I listened to this so much, and of course she's saying like, add up my love, was it ever enough? You know, all this love I gave to you, like, was it enough for you? The song's obviously about a breakup, and she's devastated by this breakup, and she's kind of like asking, you know, are you hurting the way I am? Like, do you miss doing this with me? Do you miss doing that with me? Like, I really like this part where she goes, do you miss all the ways I put you in your place? You say you like all of my attitudes. This person appeared to have loved her for everything she was, and then obviously didn't work out. So she's like, was it enough what I was giving you? Was there another reason? How are you dealing with it? Really sad song, really good song though. My favorite on the album, personally. So the next song is Echo. This is actually the only song on the album that I did not save. And in this song, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened to it very much because I'm not the biggest fan of it, but this song is basically about, like, from what I'm reading, secrecy. Like, there's a lot of secret keeping going on here, and obviously that's not a great thing if you're in a relationship with someone. I would say this song is kind of the funky socks of the album. I feel like it doesn't fully match the vibe of the other songs, and maybe that's why it like kind of caused some dissonance in my head, because everything kind of flowed together really well, and then I listened to this song and I was like, whoa, what is this? But just not for me personally. Glory of the Snow has been my current favorite song on the album. I've been looping this song a lot recently. Out of all the songs on this album, this song is definitely a lot happier and lighter, and something the title Glory of the Snow made me think of when I first saw it was something I learned like back in high school, which is, this is gonna sound so cringe, I know. I learned in high school about how the color white and then the idea of snow kind of represents like innocence, a fresh start, you know, new beginnings, a blank slate, like just starting fresh. I think that that is actually what this song is going for. And also there is a flower called Glory of the Snow. It's basically a flower that grows through the snow. Like, even when it snows, the flower is able to bloom. And so it's basically like, you know, even when times are tough, you're still able to grow past it. But this song definitely sounds like it's about a fresh start. One of the pre-choruses in this song says, I dust the windows, the shutters, the channels. And then going into the chorus, you know, she says, I'm waking up and now I know. So it's like, you know, you're waking up fresh and now you're understanding, you're seeing things from a different perspective. And it's just like a clear mind, clear head. You're growing. That's kind of the idea I got from this. In the intro of the song, she opens by saying, I can feel there's something in the between. For a moment, I heard you talking to me. So, you know, obviously this person is not there, but she's still kind of hearing them in the back of her mind. She's still kind of thinking about them. And then in the first pre-chorus, she says, I pull on the string that binds me to memories of the way I loved you. It's kind of like trying to free herself from her past with this person. And then it goes into the chorus saying, Glory of the Snow, I'm waking up and now I know. You're waking up fresh, you're starting over, it's all good.
And if you need to disappear.
And now we are going on to the last track on this album called Pier 4. This is a very sad song to close out the album. It's really just about like not being close to someone even though you're physically very close to them. That's kind of the theme across the whole album, so it makes sense to end with a song like this. It's just kind of sad that you hear Glory of the Snow and then you hear this one right after, which kind of makes me think, oh, okay, like, you know, there's still kind of that lingering feeling. There's still something going on. There's still some sadness sitting in her mind. I just feel like the difference in this album would have been so huge if Glory of the Snow was the last song on the album and Pier 4 was like maybe the second to last or third to last, but ending it with this song kind of shows that there are still some feelings lingering and it's not completely over. There's still some stuff that's going unsaid. It's so sad. It's such a sad way to end this album. I've been filming for over an hour. I think this is the longest video I've made in like a pretty long time. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown I did of Clairo's new album. I am obsessed with it. I'm in love with it. I think she did such a fabulous job with this album, and I'm really glad I gave her another chance, even though in the past I haven't been a super big fan of her music. It really does show that like just because you don't like one album from an artist, it doesn't mean you can't really love another one. Definitely my album of the year for sure, and I will be making a video talking about my Spotify Wrapped in a few weeks when that comes out. So I'm really looking forward to that because I love making that video every year. It's one of my favorites. Anyway guys, that's all I have for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next Saturday with another video. So until then, bye!